So if you're not a part of the Facebook group, please join because I'm asking questions, trying to get ideas. And today I asked a question, what would you like to see in Technique Tuesday? And the very first question I got was a really good one, but then it disappeared, it got deleted. And it's understandable. The question was, how do I suck less? So when someone asks why they suck, there's like a huge amount of dimensions that it could cover. One is the logical aspect, which is really simple. You can break it down. I could write it in a graph. And then the other is the more complex version, which has to do with self-esteem and ego, and it has to do with a lot of things. Could be a deal with hurt. Maybe you started learning flow arts because you felt really bad about yourself, and this happens to a lot of people. There's a lot of people that start because maybe they were into something bad. Maybe they had a lot of bad habits, or maybe something horrible happened to them and they never knew how to get it out, and then they learned flow arts. And once they learned flow arts, they found this spotlight, that they found like this way that they could take all of their energy and funnel it into something good. And that is amazing. But there's a but to this. When you have pain and you release it through flow, or you release it through any art, those questions that created those pain is still there. For instance, if you ask, am I good enough? Oh my God, here's flow arts. Oh, I feel amazing. Still late, it could be years later, it could be months later, you still have that question, well, am I good enough? Well, how good do I flow? That's what happens. And now all of a sudden you're looking at, well, how good do I flow is in comparison to how I value myself. Does that make sense? I hope it does. When really, what that kind of question really has to do more with just your self-value and just your appreciation as a person, like how you appreciate yourself, how much you love yourself. Because like when you love someone or something, you really don't compare it. When you compare something, you really don't love it. So when you compare yourself to another person, you're not looking at it through their perspective, because they have their own story and you have yours, and that's the reason why you guys are where you're at. And things need to be there for where you guys are at. But if you compare it, you can't like take your story and just superimpose it over theirs and vice versa, because they come from a totally different place. And those scenarios is what wrote them to be where they're at. So I guess that's where I'm coming with. There's a lot. I mean, there's so much. There's so much behind that question. But the truth is, how do I suck less? You could either be training, playing, or flowing more. Okay? Like flowing is putting your heart into it. Training is optimizing it. And then playing is innovating it. So you have 3 different options there. And if you just worked on that every day, you would be great. But the thing is you use the word suck, which usually means that it's something else. It's probably a little bit more on the emotional thing. And I feel like there's a lot of people that come to flow arts because it helped them feel better, and that's amazing. But at the same time, I still think it's good to really take a good look at yourself in the mirror and to detach from the flow even, and just make sure that the person behind the flow is okay. That person is okay, because you flow to release, but what's creating all the tension in the first place is you. So I want you guys to take good care of yourself. Take good care of each other. Yeah, that's Jerry Springer. That's what he always said. I want you guys to take good care of yourselves, though. Flow arts is an amazing outlet. It is an incredible outlet, and I hope that the FlowTricks community keeps growing. Well, just the flow arts community in general. I mean, it's such an amazing thing. I hope this answers your question. That's a pretty big question, and I'm sure there's a lot more facets to it, but I wanted to cover that one for sure.